not taking my stage right now. All right. All right, guys. All right. And welcome back to another Slick Speaks. And for this Slick Speaks, I was going to have like somebody actually V-mixing in from Haiti. Honestly, Miss Patty Pageant has been doing a lot of stuff in Haiti, so I just wanted to spotlight that with the fact of like her helping out an orphanage. But I'll have to, tell you guys to chime in or tune in next week for the whole situation of Miss Patty Pageant that is helping, like I'll say, the motherland, because I am Haitian, and the fact the stuff that she does go like the stuff that she does, and the stuff that I see that she goes above and beyond for, like, I'll say, normal humanly possible, because like her heart, like if everybody had that same heart, I feel like it would have been a better world. But I'll have to have that whole situation with Miss Patty Pageant and this orphanage that she does, I'll say, take care of more than sponsor, even though she is a sponsor of the whole situation. I would just let you guys know about it next week. But for this week, it's not a very glorious week for me, because like in all honesty, there's supposed to be a game 7 today. So today will be a day of like remnants, and I can't say remnants, but like a day of like just basically apologizing. And my statements are like my statements for this whole situation were all wrong, even though I was being kind of biased. But I still feel there should have been a game 7 today, even though Miami Heat did lose. Everybody seen the loss. It was like by 30 plus points, 35 points at the time. But I feel like, no, they did get it closer at the end. But at the end of the day, it was still a blowout game. The game was over in the second quarter. And I have to say, for LBJ, this is just strictly for LBJ. I just like to apologize for my tweets. like, I feel like I can't say my most infamous, but like I feel like my cue or my saying of LeBron losing in 6, but he actually won in 6. I should take it back and just say LeBron, you won in 6. Have a great, championship, but I feel like you should have lost in actually 6. But we were slow to come to the party. But Miami Heat were counted as the underdog. I don't see how the Miami Heat was counted as the underdog, being that the Milwaukee Bucks, if don't give me like I say at me or like comment me if I'm wrong, the Milwaukee Bucks only had one person that you needed to stop. So it wasn't a big surprise that Miami Heat, I would say, the most in assists and actually second chance points and a good defensive presence and offensive presence, would not beat the Bucks within 5. Even though the Bucks still have a good regular season record. You can have a good regular season record and still be garbage, like, the New Orleans Saints. Not saying that the New Orleans Saints are doing good right now, but the New Orleans Saints always have like that good season year in and year out, but they always lose within the first round or the second round of the playoffs. And you're like, what happened to the New Orleans Saints I saw in week 8? That's basically how the Milwaukee Bucks are to me. Like, even though they can have the highest wins or the highest win total, doesn't mean that they're going to go anywhere, because in all actuality, you're just going to start one person, or just have to stop one person, which is Giannis Antetokounmpo. You dig? You have to stop one person on that team. So I'm not surprised that he won that. And for Boston and the whole situation with Jason Tatum, and the whole situation with Kemba Walker and all the other supporting staff of Boston, which is a good team. I have to admit that. But Boston really could not stop Miami Heat, because, to be honest with you, I'm just getting in the mind of Jason Tatum. And being Jason Tatum, I would think that it's time for me to leave this fabulous, wonderful organization, because I've been here for, I would say, 4 to 5 years, and they brought in championship people like a Kyrie Irving. And the closest I ever got to like a championship spot always gets taken by either somebody else that wants it more, even though we have the star power, even though they may have the star power to beat that team, what is it? The opposing team will always strive more, and you like to be honest, he sees this day in and day out. When you had Kyrie, everybody thought when Kyrie was drafted, everybody thought that like this whole situation in Boston they're gonna bring in a championship, but in actuality they didn't, and they traded Kyrie. Kyrie clearly wanted the money, that's why he went over there, but people didn't see that at the time. So Jason Tatum, if I was Jason Tatum, I would sit back and realize after this offseason of getting smacked by the Heat in 6, I would just realize like it's time for me as a person named Jason Tatum to take my talents elsewhere. I can't say take my talents to South Beach, but he should take his talents to South Beach. And being a Jason Tatum, I wouldn't want him to like, lose his whole situation or like have a grudge that they had when LeBron left Cleveland, but I feel like it's about to be that time. Like you spend 5 years at a franchise, you need to leave, okay? This is the plea of all pleas, Mr. Jason Tatum. You don't have to come to Miami, but it would be amazing if you would. But in all actuality, what else do you have in Boston? You always come so close, but so short, so far away. There's no need for you to go back and forth on this decision. There's no need for you to stay there, you know? And for the ones, I just have to address the ones being that, I am on this remorseful mood. Thank you, Hector. I am on this remorseful mood. I have to thank the ones that, doubted the Heat and called the Heat the underdogs. But in actuality, if the Lakers face any other team, it'll probably be a sweep, 5-1. I wouldn't think another team like besides the Heat would take the Lakers to a 6. And if you don't believe me, why wasn't your team in the finals? Like, like out of all the teams, Miami was the last one standing on the East. I feel like we lost. Not saying people lost the infatuation towards us because we lost. Well, not yeah. Basically, um, the big three dispersed in such a like I say dramatic fashion because LeBron went back to Cleveland. Wade basically retired, and Bosh retired after whole situation. But like nobody really gave Miami Heat any respect. So the fact that Miami Heat took a bunch of I can't say no names because I knew all the names of Miami Heat, of the Miami Heat players from Hero to Olenek. I had to actually learn them, but I knew all like the good role player, the good rotation players that Spo used on his lineup. So basically, I have to say like you're calling them the underdog, but you have to really look at the coaching staff. The coaching staff of the Heat really brought a bunch of people that people wouldn't even like. Who would pick up a Duncan Robinson from a D3 team? And Duncan Robinson is a major factor in the finals. Like no one would think a person like a Bam Adebayo would be like X factor in the finals or like in the playoffs. The fact that they Heat won the East, I feel like the Heat actually put their actual solid foundation that we are not a team to mess. Even though that we are a young team, doesn't mean like that doesn't mean you can disrespect us like we're a Charlotte Bobcats. Okay, the Heat is not the Charlotte Bobcats. Why would they? Why were they even the underdog? You seen the talent that they had from a rookie dropping 35 in the playoffs. I wouldn't say whoever would have thunk a rookie would have dropped 35 in a playoff game. I'll say facing elimination. I think it was towards Boston, or no, I can't say it was towards Boston. I don't want to get the facts wrong, but Tyler Hero dropped 35 being a rookie. Tyler Hero was literally 2 games away from being a champion. and the Heat are promising that they're going to be having another playoff run. So don't be surprised if you see the Heat in the mix again. It's kind of like I feel like college football with the University of Miami, how University of Miami gets us just disrespected for I just out of blatant nowhere. University of Miami just like they just think they're goons and thugs and they just want to basically just enforce their will or their willpower onto the field and they really don't want to place. Everybody talks about Alabama, but everybody disrespects Miami because honestly, Miami players and the Miami atmosphere really built the NFL. Like the Ravens at a point in time, the Ravens were all Miami players. Miami really Miami players, Miami staffmen really set the bar for NFL. So the fact that they never ranked Miami, I'm gonna be biased. I will rank Miami number one, but other people would feel like you're blatantly you're blatantly not seeing other teams like Bama or Oregon Ducks. Like these teams were really irrelevant teams. Okay, Miami was putting the work on in the field and outside of the field to the point that we create a culture behind our football. My University of Miami, I feel like will I think that's our protein for football because the Dolphins are kind of doing adequate. But that's our like protein for football. So Miami really set the standard and the mood for college football as a whole because University of Miami, you have to put respect on their name. And just like how you put how LeBron asked for respect on his name when he won his fourth title, which is amazing. Like who else can say that? Who else can bring in a fleet of stars onto a team after he gets traded to win a championship other than LeBron? Come on. Kevin Durant goes to a team. You really think like everybody will follow Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving or Paul George or who else is there? Russell Westbrook or or what's his name from that plays along James Harden. You think if James Harden goes to like another team, you think people no. People are there to witness history and witness being in the victory parade of LeBron, like a J.R. Smith, like a Dwight Howard. And I have to point this out, like Dwight Howard, guys. Like if anybody knows Dwight Howard really was never a good center to begin with. He was just a showman, highlight player. Basically, he wanted to be a part of like the limelight. I don't even know if he wanted to play basketball, but he was just big for nothing. To the point that Kobe, I can't say Kobe I can't say Kobe quoted this entirely, but I feel like Kobe called him a big for nothing because literally him and Kobe always clash. So I don't even know why he's trying to say for Kobe. In actuality, he was a part of the Lakers, mentality, but he didn't really fit in correctly. So the fact that LeBron brought him back, feels like he fit in correctly. But everybody knows Dwight Howard's been there before. Dwight Howard is really not even a role player anymore. Like I'll say he come off the bench. Like last time he got fouled out. Like now he wants to show that he wants to fight people. Like when he faced Jimmy Butler on Game 5, like he wanted to square up with Jimmy Butler. Like who are you, Dwight Howard? Who really hurt you, Dwight Howard? Are you doing this? Did you do this for Kobe, or are you trying to say sorry to him because you didn't see the potential that you already had, but you're wasting it on like other stuff that was just frivolous. Like you're just a big guy. Really could have been something great, but I don't know what happened to you. Like you just fell off the map. But I'm glad you. I feel like you're feeling LeBron's parade because you're the champagne that's spilling off LeBron's cup, you're getting it as well. So I'm glad that you witnessed a championship so you can say, well, I had a ring with LeBron, which is, I say, anybody that say that, anybody that say that really never really had a ring. Like the only person that I could say that can have that level eye to eye look on the Lakers team right now for LeBron for this whole like championship for this whole finals for that whole series would be like Anthony Davis, because anybody else but Anthony Davis, I feel like Anthony Davis and LeBron are the first person to eat at the table when the when is it when the cake was being cut, or like when the food was being supplied. I feel like they're supposed to be the first ones to eat at the table in their Lakers jerseys. The other ones just eat up the scraps because clearly they're there to be a role player, but they're not there to be like that X factor that Anthony Davis was to help LeBron win his championship. And if you feel like Anthony Davis did not help LeBron win his championship, please go back on the film and the tape, because to be honest with you, even though it is LeBron's fourth championship, and I say four, a big strong four, I still feel like his MVP was kind of just handed to him, because in all actuality, Anthony Davis was the big factor, or the big X factor of this situation. And the Lake Show wouldn't really be the Lake Show if they didn't have those two pillars. And one of those pillars was a really active pillar like Anthony Davis. If you disagree with me, please watch the film and come back to me, because LeBron is a great player nonetheless. But LeBron himself with no Anthony Davis, that would have been scary. I don't think the Lakers would have made it as far as they did without the help and support of Anthony Davis, okay? So for all the other role players like Caldwell Pope that came out of nowhere, yeah, I feel like you're just supporting staff to to LeBron, no, to David, no, to LeBron and Davis's camp, or LeBron and Davis's wave, because like those boys is like peanut butter and jelly. Like I can't say you can't say one name without the other, because Anthony Davis was a big X factor to this whole situation. So I have to apologize to the true Laker fans that, I was trolling, because I really thought the Heat was gonna win. And to be honest with you, I still feel like the Heat could have won. So like we are gonna be back next year, and I just have to say, like, I apologize for like my loud and belligerent rants, but to be honest with you, I just say facts. And everybody's surprised that the Heat made it, but I wasn't. The Heat is a tough team, and they will make it through. And for the Lakers and LeBron, enjoy it while you can, because Miami will be back, full swinging 305 boys. And once again, on another Slick Speaks, guys, please tune in every Taco Tuesday to hear what I'm talking about, or to hear what I have to address, or probably just to hear what I have to apologize about. Because in actuality, I shouldn't even be doing this apology, because the Heat should have won in 7, matter of fact 6, but something happened. So, we'll be back next year. We'll win in 6 next year. All right, we will be in the mix. We won't be the underdogs, because we are the top dogs. Until next time, guys. You are not taking my stage right now.